Hello. We're going to continue with 4.3, Model with Formulas. Put today's date, Thursday, May the 7th, 2020. Note, to use the formula I equals PRT, notice that the PRT is together, so there's multiplication between those letters. We need to know that I is equal to the interest earned in dollars. P is the principal you invest in dollars. So the unit for interest is in dollars. Principal is measured in dollars. The R is the interest rate. Okay, so the I is the interest in dollars. P is the principal in dollars. I is the interest rate. R is the interest rate in percent, okay, changed to a decimal by dividing by 100%, okay? T is time in years. T is time in years. Given the formula I equals PRT, find the principal. Find the principal. So the P is what we're finding, okay? Or the amount invested. So the word principal means the amount invested. If the interest you earn is $60, so the interest you earn is $60, okay, so that's I. The interest rate, okay, that rate, okay, is 2.5%, and the money is invested for 8 years. So because 8 is measured in years, we know that's the same as time, using the guess method. So G-U-E-S-S. Okay, so what's been given? So we've been given the formula I equals P times R times T. Now, we have to know that the PRT, when they're written one next to another, is multiplication of all these values. We were asked to find the principal, so we can go back down to the U, which is your unknown, and we can say that we're going to find the principal. Okay, so we need to know what that value is, but we know that it's the P letter that we're finding. We could also call it the amount invested. If the interest, so you earn is $60, so they're giving you that information. So the interest earned is equal to $60, okay? But the interest, right, for I, is a value of 60. The interest rate, so the interest rate, okay, so the interest rate is 2.5%. Now, we had said that we have to, for interest rate, we have to change it to a decimal by dividing by 100%. So we have to take this interest rate, whenever we've got the rate, we've got to divide it by 100%. So if I don't know how to do that in my head, I might have forgotten. So 2.5 divided by 100 is 0.025. 0.025. And the money is invested for 8 years. Years is in time. So end and time is 8 years. So we know that's T. All right. Equation. The equation is what we've been given. So we're going to use I equals P. We know that's times R. No, that's times T. Now, if I'm going to find the principal, okay, I can put a square or a rectangle or even a circle around the value that I'm finding. Notice it's on the right side with other letters, okay? So to solve, because they're together, to solve for P, use SAMDEB and opposite operations. If you say, well, we've done this before, my answer would be yes, right? Now we know that opposite operations has addition is opposite of subtraction. Subtraction is opposite addition. Multiplication is opposite of division. And division is opposite multiplication. Solution. I'm going to take what's been given, the unknown, and the equation. I'm going to put this all together in this solution space. So we're going to write my equation. I'm going to give myself more room today. I equals P times R times T. I'm going to spread that out so I know that there's times in between all of them. Now I'm solving for P, okay? To solve for P, use SAMDEB. So I need to use SAMDEB and opposite operations, okay? All right. I'm going to take what's been given. I know that the interest earned is $60. Okay, so I'm going to sub $60. I equals $60. Okay, interest I is $60. The interest rate, now the rate R is this value that I got when I took the 2.5% and divided by 100%. So that's the R. Okay, so I'm going to sub in the R value of 0.025, and I'm going to sub in the T value of 8 years. So when I do that, my I is 60. Below I is replacing I is $60 equals the P value is what we're finding times the R value of 0.025. I'm replacing R with the value that it's equal to, and times T, which is 8 years. Now I could multiply these two together, okay? So I could go 60 is equal to P times, and then whatever this value is, 0.025 times 8. It's 0.2. So 0.2. Now I'm still solving for P, right? So the rule was that if P is on a side in the equation, when we're doing SAMDEB, we leave P wherever it is. So leave P on right side. That means over here, there is no P on left side. Okay? Okay. So 60, does it follow the rule no P on left side? It does, because 60 doesn't have a P with it. It's good to stay. Equals P. Does this P on the right side follow the rule leave P on the right side? Yes, it's the letter P. It's good. But when you multiply by 0.2, it's not following this rule of leave P on the right side because it's not the P, okay? So that's when we, next to M for multiplication, we say they're doing a multiplication of 0.2, and we're going to do the opposite of dividing by 0.2. Whatever we do on the left side, I'm going to do on the right side. So 60 divided by 0.2 is equal to 300. Equals 0.2 divided by 0.2. I don't know that in my head. I can work that out. It's 1. We say it's the same as saying it cancels each other out. We get P on its own. That's my answer. So then the sentence therefore, the principal is $300. Okay? All right. Example 5. Given the formula I equals PRT, we need to know that there's multiplication here. I can put it here if I need to. Find the interest that is earned. Well, we said interest that is earned. Go back up here. I is interest that is earned. So I'm finding the I value. Okay, so it says find the interest that is earned. Okay, so we have interest earned is the I value. So if I'm going to go in here, okay, so the unknown, I'm going to fill that in right now. Okay, so find interest that is earned. Okay, so the interest that is earned is the I value. Okay, all right. When you invest $860. When you invest it, it's the same as the principal. Okay, so principal is what you invest. So this principal, P, is what is equal to what you invest. So that, when you invest it, that's the principal. Okay, so that is the same as the letter P. So 860 equals P, all right? Oh, my goodness. I didn't even write the formula because that's been given. So I am getting ahead of myself. I apologize. Okay, so given the formula. So we were given I equals P times R times T. I need to know that between the PRT is multiplication. Whenever the letters are up against each other, okay, the operation that's understood to be between them is multiplication. Find the interest. Okay, so find the interest that is earned. That's the I value. Okay, so we're finding I. When you invest $860, which is their principal. So we're going to be, you invest $860. That's the principal. Okay, that's the same as P. Okay, so $860 is the P value. At 5%, at 5%. Well, whenever you've got a percent, okay, you've got to know that that's interest, which you need to divide by 100%. So we know that that's the interest rate, okay? Okay, but we have to divide that by 100, okay? So R equals 5% divided by 100%. If I need to, I work that out. 5% divided by 100% is 0.05. So R is equal to 0.05, okay? And for 4 years, years is basing the unit for years is for time, okay? So when you use years, you're talking about time. So this years, that's time, okay? So time is 4 years, so therefore T is equal to 4 years, okay? Okay, so since time is in years, then the T value is equal to 4 years. Okay, so I'm going to use the given equation. So I'm going to use I equals P times R times T. Again, I need to know that between the PRT, there's multiplication. That's something I just need to know, okay? Now it says that I am finding the interest, okay? Now notice what's happening. My interest value is on its own side, okay? When it's on its own side and everything else is on the other side, okay? To find I when it is on its own side, we substitute the values and use BEDMAS. Okay, so when it is on its own side, we use BEDMAS, not SAMDEP. Okay, that's important. I put a little star there. Okay, so the solution would be to take my formula. So I equals P times R times T. And again, we're taking everything that we've been given, okay? So given, we've got the formula, so we see that a couple of times. It's what we're using. You invest $860, that's the principal called P. So I'm going to sub in a principal value of $860. The 5% equals R, but R, remember, is an interest rate divided by 100%. So R is 0.05. You have to divide, okay? You have to divide by 100%. So the R value there is 0.05, and the time in years is 4 years. T is equal to 4 years, okay? Sub that in. Okay, so I is what I'm finding. Okay, I could put a box around that if I want. Equals, so rewrite it if I want to. P is 860 times R, 0.05, times T, which is 4. So I is equal to 860 times 0.05 times 4 equals. Notice I typed all of that in and then I pressed equals. Okay, I'll do it again. 860 times 0.05 times, the calculator does the calculation as I go. I don't have to worry about that because I pressed times, 4 equals. Okay, I equals $172. Okay, so that's my answer. So S, the sentence. Therefore, the interest find interest that is earned, because I'm answering that unknown question. The interest that is earned is $172. Now you're going to practice some questions in the textbook.